Hello, this is Gary the Coconut bringing you a very special game. This is a game between Map, the Red Terran player, and myself, Gary Coconut, the Blue Zerg player. Now, I don't normally like casting my own games, and I don't think anybody really wants to watch me play, and I get plenty of games from people emailing me games, and they're very good, so I like to cast those games before I cast my own, but this is very special because I wanted to do a series on how to get out of Bronze League. I know that my channel is dedicated to lower level of play. However, I think that if you want to get out of Bronze League, you might not know how. I've seen a lot of posts on Reddit in the past where people have been in Bronze League for all 7 seasons, and so I decided that since most of my viewers are in Bronze League, I will do a quick tutorial on how to get out of Bronze League, and I only plan it to be 3 parts long, and I'm just going to focus on 3 key points, and if you do those 3 points, you will get out of Bronze League. It's that simple. So, map here this is a gold level of game, and I am in gold, so I didn't really have a choice but to... I don't have any more trial versions left, so I couldn't play in actual Bronze League. But this will show the points that I am trying to make, and you will have to apply them in Bronze League, which will be easier, since your opponents should be easier. So, first things first, our Red Terran player is doing some scouting, which is one of the things I want to talk about. The 3 things are mineral saturation, scouting, and upgrades. And that's it. Those 3 things. If you do this bad, see, that was bad. That was not effective. That would have only been effective had I killed the SCV. He's even going for second pass. There we go. See, that time it was effective. If that's what the first time looked like, it would have been good. Alright, so 1. Mineral saturation. 2. Scouting. And 3. Upgrades. So, to get the mineral saturation, I want you to focus on one of those 3 things, and once you get good at that, move on to the next. And by the time you get good at those 3 things, you will be out of Bronze League. So we're going to dissect what each of those means in a lot of detail. The Overlord is doing some scouting. Very good. See, as I'm scouting, I'm looking for 2 racks. 2 barracks, that means. Make sure he's getting that orbital, not doing any cheese. I am getting an early expansion first. This is going to be a macro game. It's going to be a little bit longer. And so I just want to show you what long games look like, because in Bronze League there's mainly 2 types of games. It's quick cheese, it's over in 5 minutes, or you have half-hour long games where both players sit on their base hoping each other doesn't attack, and you get to 200 and then you go attack and the game's over. And one fight. So this is going to be a longer game. To demonstrate that, I am getting my geyser, I have my expansion ready. Now, to do mineral saturation correctly, you'll notice that you have 2 drones. I am splitting my drones, something that you can or you don't have to do. If you're just starting this out, I recommend not splitting your drones until you learn how to do this correctly. So you want 2 drones on short mineral patches, and at least 2 on the long mineral patches, and a maximum of 3. So that, and then of course 3 on the geyser. Now, if you are saturating correctly, you should be able to produce enough drones to expand every 5 minutes. See, it's at the 5-minute mark. I already have my expand going, and this is because I did a fast expand. If I didn't do a fast expand, I should still be able to expand at this point if I'm not getting attacked. Which I'm not getting attacked. This player is bunkering up. Let's see how much scouting he has done. He knows I have a fast expansion. Not sure why he is getting a bunker if in that case. And he is, let's see what my vision is. I haven't scouted as good, but I did run that Zergling up there, or that drone up there, and hopefully I'm going to be doing some more scouting with these Zerglings. So number 2 on the list is scouting. Now watch what I do when I scout here. Let's get rid of that nameplate and get that production tab up. So it's a little bit late. So this Zergling, he's just sitting here for a minute until I'm ready to move in. And I put him here so that if the army does move out, I'll be able to see it. And when I'm ready to run him into the base, I will be ready to see that too. So when I run him up, the things I want to look for is any tech that I won't be prepared for. And I also want to look at how big his army is. And that is going to give me a lot of information. I want to look at how big his army is so that I say, if he moves out at this moment, am I going to die? That's basically what I'm looking for. And if I am going to die, if he moved out at that moment, then I need to build a little bit more army. And if my army is bigger than his, well, I am free to go ahead and tech up or get more minerals, get more drones. It's a little bit harder as Zerg to do this because you... So what did I see right there? I saw that he bunkered up. He only has 2 extra Marines. He has a tiny little army. And so I say, well, he is... At this stage in the game, I'm expecting a much bigger army. I'm going to go ahead and guess that he's getting Banshees. That's what my head says. So what's my reaction to this? Throwing down Spore Crawlers. Bam. That simple. Now, a lot of times, you know, this isn't a perfect guess every time, but from my experience, I say, okay, he bunkered up, he doesn't have anything, Banshees are on the way. And I'm also starting to get that upgrades. Look at that, 1-1. So, I did my scouting, I'm getting mineral satchel, surprise. I heard the Banshee, but I don't see it. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. But I'm already ready for it, because I scouted him. And so when you scout in Bronze League, I feel like most of the time it's, where is he? Oh, there he is. I'm done scouting. That's not what it is. You also want to see how big the army is, what type of units are in the army, and make sure that you are able to defeat it. See how many bases he has, if he's expanded yet. Those are the things that you need to know. Now, he found a little sweet spot here where he can attack, and my Spore Crawler is in range. But it's going to work. It'll be fine. So we don't need to worry about the Banshee anymore because I was ready for it, and that was simple. If I hadn't scouted that and made a judgment call, I obviously would have quickly lost the game. Alright, so number 3 on our list, upgrades. People in Bronze League don't get upgrades very often, and they are vitally important. A lot of times, I'm guessing that you think, I don't know when to expand, I don't know when to get tech, how do I time those things correctly? Well, it's easy. I do it based on upgrades. So I get my 1-1 upgrades, I pick my unit that I'm going to go. In this game, you see I'm picking Zerglings, and which will eventually lead to Ultralisks and Broodlords because I'm getting the melee attack. If I was going Roaches and Hydralisks, I would get that range upgrade. And, oh, a little drop. I should have an Overlord there. My bad. But it won't be a problem. Look at those Zerglings, no problem. Alright, so now I get 1-1 upgrades. Let's compare to his upgrades. 0-0, at my surprise. No, most people don't upgrade that well in these lower leagues. And I'm just going to clean this up fine. I've been droning so hard that I'm not even worried about losing drones. Because if we look at the units, I'm guessing that well, he did just kill some, but I was doing fine. And I can just drone those up instantly again. Alright, so I get my 1-1. And as soon as that, I want to be able to get 2-2 as soon as that's done. So I know I need to get my layer. And there's my 2-2 on the way. And then I'm going to want to be able to get 3-3 as soon as these are done. So before these are done, I'm going to want to get my Hive Tech and get 3-3. And so I have a nice tech progression without even having to think about it. I just know that I want to get upgrades as quickly as I can. Now let's talk about the mineral saturation a little bit again. And he is moving out with these Hellions, and I also wanted to show this game because I thought this was pretty interesting. I've never seen the strategy that he's about to do. And he is scouting. Is he going to see my hidden X base? Yeah. So my plan was I'm going to have this hidden base. When he attacks it, that would be kind of a bait base, and I would move out and kill his base. Ouch. He should know by those drones moving that there's a base up there. We will see if he picks up on that. But instead he's checking for this third, even though I accidentally just revealed where my base was. And Zerglings aren't usually good to go against Hellions, but I am not as worried because I do have my 1-1 upgrade. So they are getting killed, but they do better than if they don't have any upgrades at all. And that's the only unit I'm using, because I'm using all my gas to get these upgrades. And then I decide... So with this strategy, I decided I'm going to use all my gas to get upgrades, just to show you guys this strategy, and my tech, and all the minerals to go with drones and Zerglings. So my 2-2 is on the way. So now, how do you know when to expand? Well, if you're saturating your bases correctly, you need to saturate that, then you wait until it's saturated, and when you have 300 extra minerals that you can't spend because you're gaining more minerals than you're spending, it's time to throw down an expansion. And this is a poor example of that because I'm focusing more on the upgrades for this demonstration. So, and again, you should be able to expand every 5 minutes. So I'm a little, I guess I'm not too far behind, about a minute behind. So by 5 minutes, I want to have 1 base. By 10 minutes, I want to have 2 bases. And by 15 minutes, I want to have 4 bases, and so on. And I want them to be all saturated. That's the key too. So what does a saturated base looks like? How can you look at this base quickly and see if it's saturated or not? Well, I want to make sure that there are no moments in time when a mineral patch is empty. So that was, I mean, this base is looking pretty good. There's a little bit here when there's nobody mining. But for the most part, that base looks pretty saturated. I need a few more guys on gas, of course. But I didn't really need it. I'm doing fine on gas. So I'm focusing more on minerals because I'm going Zerglings. And now here's an interesting push. Watch this. Never seen this before. I don't know if you guys have. But he did something. I don't know how I feel about this. We'll see what you guys think. Threw down a few turrets. And then did some Hellion harass. And right now, let's see, I am at 2-2. He's at 0-0. Not the best engagement. He's good at microing against the wall. But again, I have so many minerals that I don't even care if I lose this whole army. I can just max out, well, not max out, but I can get this all again quickly. Now I'm behind. He is moving out. It doesn't look good for me, does it? He has the hard counter to my unit. And so this game doesn't look too great for me, does it? But I am much more upgraded than him. And I'm just going to be able to hold this off easily. And he has another attack here, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. And he is throwing down the... It's just... He's not... This isn't going to work. I don't know why I need that sport crawler. Oh well. I got my macro hatch, starting my 3-3 upgrades. Along with that, I'm going to also want to get this... Yep, there it is. Man, I'm good. Alright, so I got all my upgraded. My lings will be fully upgraded in a few minutes. Yeah, a few minutes, good grief. So that is how I know when to tech up, is based on my upgrades. And so for this game, I mean, I could be harassing and attacking, but I want to show you that I'm getting 3-3 upgrades. Let's see what his upgrades are at. He has 0-0, 0-0, 0-0. And I'm going to have fully upgraded Zerglings. And then once my upgrades are finished, I say, now I can use all my gas on other units. That's just the strategy I want to go this game. I'm not saying that's a good strategy. And you can... yeah, don't pay attention to this base. Don't worry about it. I should be having my 4th expansion up, but I have issues right here, so don't worry about it. And again... For this game, I wasn't really focusing on getting my 3rd base. I was more focused on getting my upgrades. And that will be just fine. Now, how have I been doing on scouting? That initial scouting was good, but how am I doing now? I haven't scouted at all, so that's terrible. But I did see his units, so I'm not worried about it very much. And I am getting ready to make my final push. I have the drones, I have the income that I want. And I'm getting these units that I want, so I'm just waiting for my 3-3 to be finished. There's that adrenal upgrade. Ooh, how often do you see that used in a Bronze League? You don't, but if you did, you would be good. So I knew this was coming. That's why I actually planned on not doing this base very well, because I wanted him to attack this base, and as soon as he did it, I wanted to counterattack. That was the strategy. I don't know if that's a good strategy, but that was it. Because he's either going to use all his army or he's going to use half his army. And that is fine with me. And so now I'm going to say, now's my time to attack. And so we will see how fully upgraded Zerglings do. And I think I even started upgrading my Mutalisks. Nope, I guess not. Mutalisks come in, he's going to move all his army to attack this if he was good. And then my Zerglings are going to run up here. And we will see how this ends. Zerglings are getting a lot of it done. I mean, there's not much here left. But he did move out, and that's kind of what I wanted him to do, so that I could attack the front. But a little having some AI problems here. They can't go up. They don't want to go up the ramp because it is walled off. Then I get my wits about me and move in, and let's see how they do. He has the hard counter. He's walled off. This normally would be stupid to engage in this. However, I'm not too worried about it because my Zerglings are fully upgraded. And just look at, I mean, in all seriousness, that should not have been able to do very much damage at all. He should have had Blue Flame Hellions, his units should be upgraded. There's no way that I should have been able to kill his army with a bunch of Zerglings. And a few Mutalisks when he had pretty much the counter to it. But that is the power of upgrades. So I think it's pretty obvious to see where this game is going. If we look at that production tab, I do have a bunch more Zerglings on the way. Just send them over, finish this off. My Mutalisks will be able to clean this up. So on the next game, I want to focus more on the mineral saturation and how to play a longer game. This is a long game. If you don't want to play a long game, how can you apply all these three things to a shorter game? And that'll be the next game. I plan on uploading it tomorrow. So, yep. So that was this game. And there's my Zerglings to come finish this off. And that's that. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this. I will just go ahead and speed this up to finish this out. It only has a few more seconds left. And he should be giving up here soon. And death. Fully upgraded Zerglings, they're good. And he got 0 upgrades. I mean, tries to get a Thor against those Mutalisks, it doesn't even matter at this point. Alright, so Map, who loves all cap words, GG'd out. It was a good game by him. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you learned from it. And I hope to be able to better demonstrate in the other 2 games I have lined up. So in summary, mineral saturation, scouting, and upgrades. And I will cast game number 2 right now. This is Gary the Coconut, and that's it. Look at that action. Oh my goodness. That dart didn't do a very good job.